Giving and getting feedback can be a real grind, but I believe in my bones it's one of the greatest gifts you can give and get in the workplace.
One of your superpowers as a leader, as a CEO, can hold you back as a friend and collaborator. Your sweet spot is transmitting. Here's what we're going to do. Here's where we're going to go. Here's what I think. When you're in hyper-transmit mode, it makes me less likely to really say what I've been thinking or what's on my mind, because it feels like it's already been decided and that I'm just chiming in.
I'm Jim VandeHei, CEO and co-founder of Axios, and we're here to talk again about lessons learned from running companies. You just heard Mike's critique of me. To be honest, like in that moment when Mike said that, my instincts are no different than yours. You're like, well, screw you, Mike. I do listen. And man, maybe if you would just stop always telling everybody everything that they want to hear, I wouldn't have to be so blunt. But that's the wrong reaction. What I needed to do in that moment and what you need to do is just listen and assume that it's coming from a really good place. Somebody actually took the time to be honest with you about something that you could improve that would make you more effective and make that person and other people around you more effective. Don't be defensive. The worst thing you can do is just instantly say that person's wrong and you're great at what you do and the hell with it. That doesn't help anything. And imagine that the person who just took the time to give you that feedback, it would feel like they just wasted all of that time and all that energy, and they're never going to give you feedback again because they feel like you're just going to argue about it. The best way to do it is just say, thank you for that feedback. Let me reflect on it. I want to come back to you and talk about it with more precision, but I appreciate the feedback that you just gave me. And it might sting, but it actually makes you a better person. You shouldn't shy from it. You should welcome it. Invite more feedback because that's what will give you an edge. In the workplace, we just have this tendency to shy away from tough conversations. We rationalize it. We tell ourselves, well, I'm just being nice. I don't want to be mean. I don't want to hurt someone's feelings. But you're actually hurting that person. You are doing them a disservice if you are not honest about how somebody can improve. If you have to give tough feedback, there's a couple tricks you can use to make sure that it is super useful. Number one is write it down and send it to them the night before you give it to them. If somebody hears something that's either humiliating or something they want to argue in the moment, they become emotional and they can't actually hear you. Whereas if you write it down and you let them soak it in, they can have their emotional response. Then they can think about it and come to the meeting with you to have a much more forthright conversation about the thing that you're giving them the tough love feedback on. Number two, thank them. Like anybody who works for you, works under you, clearly has done something well. And you want to make sure you're very clear about, hey, here are the things that you do well and the things that I really appreciate. But then the next step is the most important one. Be very precise, even be blunt on the things that you need them to change, the things that they need to work on. This is where almost every manager I've met falls short. They end up wanting to say, hey, you're a great guy, and I love the work that you're doing, and man, we had fun at that baseball game, and oh, by the way, I wish you weren't such a jerk to your colleagues. Anyways, I hope you have a good day. Well, that's not helpful. You need to isolate on the thing that they need to work on. You have to be very precise. Like, listen, this is the thing you're not doing right. This is what doing it right would look like. And then being precise about when you're going to revisit it to make sure that what needs to be corrected was corrected. Most people aren't dopes. They don't want to do something the wrong way. And so you have to go into the conversation knowing that. That's why you need to be specific. They might just not know that they're doing this. They might not know that the expectation is for them to do something else. That's why being crystal clear in writing and then in person about what the expectations are, where they're falling short, and how to correct it matter profoundly. And if you can do those things with precision, even when it hurts, you will find out that most people over time will thank you. We live at a time where every company is changing extremely fast, and you need everybody spending the vast majority of their time doing the things that matter most the way that you want them done. So anytime people aren't doing that, one person creates friction and creates more work for other people around them. And so those costs, while maybe you can't put a specific dollar sign on it, they're huge, huge, huge. Whereas if you flip the script and you have a team that knows exactly what they need to do, is getting constant feedback on what they should be doing, how they should be doing it differently, how they can do it better, you'll see astonishing improvements in productivity. And by the way, you're going to see astonishing improvements in people's just their mood and their emotions. They're going to like working with each other because you're starting to create this culture of candor and culture of trust.